Hello and welcome along to another lesson with Mr. Burns. In this lesson we are going to change the subject of the formula using the volume of a cone. Okay, initially we're going to change the subject to r. Okay, we've got a third pi r squared h for the volume of a cone. Okay, now because the left hand side is equal to the right hand side, then the right hand side is equal to the left hand side. So we can switch them round. Okay, so a third pi r squared h is equal to the volume. We want to have the r squared there remaining. So we are going to start changing the side, inverting the operation. By inverting that fraction, we're going to multiply through by 3. Okay, so v multiplying 3 is the same as 3 multiplying v. So 3v, okay, number first, then the letter or symbol. Okay, now we're going to divide through by anything we don't need because it is multiplying on the left hand side. The inverse operation of multiplication is division, so we're going to divide by pi and h. So we'll get 3v dividing pi and h. Okay, inverse operation of squaring is square root. Okay, so the square root of a square is the inverse, so that cancels each other out. Okay, make sure that square root symbol is all over that 3v and pi h. Okay, so there you have it. Radius equals the square root of 3v divided by pi and h. Square root of a square is in your... Oh my god. Let's start again. Is that the ones column? Well, welcome along to another lesson with Mr. Burns. In this lesson we are going to change the subject of the formula using the volume of a cone formula. Okay, so volume is a third pi r squared h. That's given to you in the National 5 exam. Okay, you don't need to remember it. Okay, so the left hand side equals the right hand side, so that means the right hand side is equal to the left hand side. Okay, so we want to have the symbol that we're trying to change the subject for on the left hand side. Okay, so a third pi r squared h is equal to v. We'll invert that operation. Multiplication of a third becomes multiplication . Hello, welcome along to another lesson with Mr. Burns. In this lesson we are going to rearrange the formula. Right, we're going to change the subject of the formula for the volume of a cone, which is a third pi r squared h. Okay, our left hand side is equal to our right hand side, so that means that we can change this around because the right hand side is also equal to the left hand side. We want r on the left hand side, so a third pi r squared h is equal to the volume. Now we want to then deal with this fraction. Okay, so dividing by 3 on the left hand side, inverting that operation is a multiplication of 3 on the right hand side. Okay, so we then get pi r squared h is equal to v times 3, which is the same as 3v. Okay, so having the number before the letter or the symbol is common practice. Okay, so multiplying the r squared is pi and h, inverse operation is division, so dividing by pi and h. Okay, so r squared is equal to 3v dividing by pi and h. Okay, pi h. Inverse operation of squaring is square root. Okay, square root of square is the cancel each other out, so 3v dividing by pi and h. Okay, so there you have it. Make sure that square root is all over that. We don't want any bad form. Okay, square root of a square number. Okay, they are inverse operations, and in the same way r squared, the square root is exponent a half, and again that would cancel each other out. Okay, so that's changing the subject to R using the volume of a cone formula. Okay, let's do something similar, and let's change the subject to H this time. Okay, so again, left hand side is equal to the right hand side, so the right hand side is equal to the left hand side. Okay, let's switch that around. Have your subject on the left hand side, that's a good starting point. Okay, so a third pi r squared is equal to v. Let's look at how this is similar to the previous one. Okay, keep the h there. Let's deal with the fraction first. It will simplify how it looks by doing that. So multiplying through by 3 is the same as the previous one. So v times 3 is the same as 3v. Okay, so pi r squared h is equal to 3v. What's multiplying the h is pi r squared. We want to then divide by pi r squared. That's the inverse operation of multiplication, which is division. Okay, they're cancelling each other down. So the height is equal to 3 times the volume divided by pi r squared. There you go. Okay, changing the subject of the formula. Get lots of practice with that. Okay. And thanks for watching.